the future will bring, no man can say. But one fact is certain. Mankind stands at the crucial crossroads of history, the threshold of a new era, the atomic age. For the people of the U.S., skilled in the uses of science and technology, the atomic age is profoundly significant. Across a continent enormous in its agricultural potential, Americans have drawn from the earth a rich bounty, have built great cities, have reared towers into the sky, have spun intricate networks of highways across the land. By the application of science, industry has grown increasingly productive, making possible a good way of life. With assurance, Americans look with an abiding faith to the future. For many, citizen and scientist alike, atomic energy means the promise of a more abundant life. But for many another, the atom is a threat, an evil promise, the paralyzing panic of our time. Thus, to answer the perplexing question of the atom and its implications, the people have turned their attention to the forum of public affairs, have sought to search out realities, to find the facts, or to listen to men of science, like Dr. Jerimiah Morley, famed geologist, the embattled founder of the now defunct Society to Save Civilization. It was Morley who told a Los Angeles audience that
a series of atomic explosions, either accidental or deliberate, could set off a chain reaction to annihilate every man, woman, and child on the face of the earth. It could cause the death of every living thing.
In a gloomy report, Morley took a dim view of history, recalled the tragically repetitious story, the decline and fall of all past civilizations. Said Morley, modern civilization could, by the phenomenon of atomic fission, be brought to dust and ashes. For example, if an A-bomb were detonated at the Empire State Building, the area of total destruction would cover an area of 2 miles. Now, since the A-bomb is already obsolete, consider the area of total destruction of an H-bomb.
And science has promised us bombs 1,000 times more powerful, poisoning with radioactivity all the air and water of this earth. This could mean not only the end of our own civilization, but the very possibility of any future civilization. What are we going to do about it? I'll tell you what I am going to do about it. I have a plan to preserve human life on this planet. I hope you will join with me in carrying it out.
The response to Dr. Morley's appeal was immediate and enthusiastic. The Society to Save Civilization was set up. To its headquarters flocked amateur do-gooders and professional scientists. From them, Morley chose a staff of experts. Dr. Max A. Bauer, eminent geophysicist, ousted by Hitler from the University of Munich in 1933. Dr. James Paxton, metallurgical engineer, twice winner of the McKenna Scientific Award. Joan Lindsay, medical doctor and ardent feminist, who, for her research in biochemistry, was named winner of the annual award by the American Confederation of Women Scientists. Dr. George Coleman, authority on soil conservation. And Andrew Ostengard, sandhog, explosives expert, Marine veteran of World War II. It was this team, qualified each in his own way, that helped set in motion Morley's audacious project, a daringly planned program, which he took 3 months later to the board of directors of the Carlyle Foundation.
And so my colleagues and I believe that humanity can escape annihilation, can find a temporary haven, a promise of hope that, come what may, life can be sustained deep within the earth itself. Far below the surface, we shall seek a natural, a geological shelter. We have a team ready for the effort. All we lack are funds. Can we get them from your foundation?
Dr. Morley, I believe it would expedite matters if I were to ask the questions. We're laymen, you know. First of all, isn't the inside of the earth solid?
The interior of the earth is made up of vast caverns and air pockets, joined by natural avenues leading from the surface.
Natural avenues?
Funnels and fissures. Such a fissure lies within the world's largest extinct volcano at Mount Nelly. That is where we intend to start our journey.
Well, these funnels, how far down do they go?
Hundreds of miles, perhaps thousands, to the very core of the Earth.
But isn't the inside of the Earth, the very core, a molten, fiery mass?
To the contrary. The latest body of theory holds that the inside of a sphere, such as the Earth, is cooler than the temperature at its surface.
And how would you traverse these thousands of miles?
Dr. Coleman, the perspective drawings, please.
This is a cyclotram.
A what?
It's an amphibious conveyance based on the principles of an ovoidal bathysphere.
A what?
Like a submarine, with the mobility of a tractor. Its head contains a burrowing device, and its walls can withstand extremes of temperature and pressure.
But even with the cyclotram or the bathysphere or the whatnot, how do you know you'll be successful in finding this underground haven?
We don't know, but we must try. There is no other alternative, no other course, no other hope of keeping the spark of life alive.
And the cost? That's a lot of money, Dr. Morley. Well, surely you don't expect...
But we do.
I know you and your committee mean well.
Mean well? Next you'll be calling us starry-eyed idealists.
Dr. Lindsay, you're out of order.
The whole world is out of order.
And I suppose you and your associates can set it right?
We couldn't have said it wronger if we tried.
The appropriation was denied. To carry on his work, Dr. Morley issued repeated appeals to the members of the organization. It failed. And so, last week, the Society to Save Civilization was itself extinct. And one of its leaders, of Professor Jerimiah Morley and his enthusiastic colleagues. Where were they headed after a year of devotion to a lost but spectacular cause? To newsreel reporters, Dr. Morley had only this to say.
We have no plans. We have no hope.
Better stand by, Frank. We may want to run that again. Well, gentlemen, what do you think?
It's like asking a man what he thinks of his own obituary.
I thought you'd like to see it before its release in case you had any objections. Now he thinks of our objections.
You've been crucifying us for a year, Mr. Thompson, in the newspapers you edit, the magazines you publish, and the syndicates you control.
And now this newsreel. Just a minute, gentlemen. You seem to have me confused with my father. He dictates the policies of our publications.
Like father, like son.
Nothing, Dr. Bauer, could be more unscientific. As a matter of fact, my father and I never see eye to eye on anything.
So he's the villain of the piece and you are the hero.
Quite the contrary. My father has all the virtues of our society. He makes the money, I spend it.
The large occupation.
Oh, I have no occupation. I'm strict.
You wouldn't.
That idea of yours, Dr. Morley, about exploring the inside of the Earth. You know, I'd like to try that, just for the kicks.
I'm sure you wouldn't find it very exciting.
Oh, I don't know. Gentlemen, I came here tonight with a proposition. I have some money of my own. I would like to finance your project.
Are you serious?
Sit down, my boy.
There's one stipulation, however. I go with you. And what could you do?
I'm afraid you don't realize what you'd be up against.
Going 1,000 miles inside the Earth, just to satisfy a whim?
Gentlemen, you act as if the fate of humanity hung upon you granting me this whim.
Plans for the expedition are being completed ahead of schedule. And Morley is pleased with our progress. The cyclotram nears completion. Adequate nutrition in concentrated form has been perfected. And for an auxiliary water supply, the Sloan H2O condenser will be used. By the study of our laboratory animals in a new environment, we expect to gather important scientific data. At last, the cyclotram is ready to be loaded aboard the SS Aurora. Our destination, the extinct volcano, Mount Nele, where the inside of the earth begins. This was our base, a lonely, desolate beach at the foot of the extinct volcano.
Well, let's go.
What a place to spend our last night on Earth.
You sound like we'll all be dead in the morning.
It's a possibility if we stay here.
Andy, take the controls. Follow the ridge line. Keep out of the ravines. Descend at an angle of not more than 33 degrees.
Something's wrong.
Now try it. Sustain 2,000 RPM. Follow our chart plan, R4.
Check.
What's our elevation now?
Approaching 6,300 feet. Angle of ascent, 19 degrees.
Speed constant, 2,100 RPM.
I wonder how long this iron lung is going to hold up.
You can still beg out.
You can't get rid of me so easily.
Give me a reading on the forward rotational unit.
We're up to 9,000, climbing at 24 mph. Angle 31 degrees.
At that rate, we'll make the summit in 4 hours. Dr. Morley, we are meeting some unstable isotopes.
Increase the lateral unit to 12,000.
Say, this is getting rough.
We're approaching position R4.
Our computations show an error of less than plus 0.14.
Good. We'll reach the summit in 30 minutes.
And 27 minutes.
Excellent. 33 minutes ahead of our estimated schedule.
We'll make a final check of our position before we enter the crater.
glad the professor picked this volcano for our expedition.
Maybe this one could come to life, too.
No, not a chance.
No bet on it.
There's no reason for us to wait till dawn. We'll proceed into the crater now.
Just one last look at the Earth.
Yeah. What a way to remember it.
Follow the downward spiral. Keep to the inside ledges. Speed 1,200 RPM.
Brother, it's really black out there.
As we descend ever deeper into the volcano, I've observed no unusual physical symptoms. Paxton seems withdrawn, irritable, but with such an annoyance as Wright Thompson present, the condition may not be considered abnormal.
The descending ledges are getting awfully narrow. We must be at position R18.
Yes, we are. Cut the switches. We'll be doing some hiking now. Better have some breakfast.
Rise and shine. Morning.
How can you tell?
Breakfast is served.
Breakfast. Well, I've always said there's nothing like starting off a hard day's work than with a good breakfast. Hey, Doc?
How would you know?
You don't like my kind of guy, do you?
Not very much. But I'll make an exception of you. You I don't like a lot.
Coleman, take the controls. We'll scout the way on foot for you. Follow on down along the widest leg.
Watch that, it's loose.
What's the matter?
I don't like it.
What did you expect in here? A Garden of Eden?
I'm not talking about volcanoes. I mean Wright Thompson. He doesn't belong here.
None of us belongs here. We're doing what has to be done.
He doesn't feel that responsibility. He's just a useless piece of excess baggage, a selfish thrill seeker.
But without him, there'd be no expedition.
Pardon me. Kind of deep down there, isn't it? Nice friendly bunch, those scientists.
Oh, what's your trouble?
Oh, nothing, but don't they ever talk?
Not unless they got something to say. That's the way it is with smart people.
Maybe they're not so smart. Maybe they don't know what they're doing down here.
Listen, Buster. Each one of them has taught us more colleges than you've flunked out.
So what are you doing down here among all those brains?
I managed to make myself useful. It might be well if you did the same thing.
Doing what?
This. You lead the way for a while.
We've hit bottom. Rock bottom. Hello, Coleman. Coleman, come in.
Go ahead.
We've reached the end of the channel. Establish our position.
Our depth below mean sea level, 2.6 miles.
The Engstrand Underground Geological Expedition reached this point June 12, 1938, and was unable to proceed further. Why anyone who follows us should want to go further, we do not know, but we assume that they have good reason for doing so. Good luck.
If Engstrand were living today, he'd know the reason.
The world has changed since 1938.
The world has changed since yesterday. You better get to work.
Look!
That's pressure from the other volcano. We'll have to work this side. Paxton!
Yes, Dr. Morley?
Start making density readings on that wall over there.
Yes, sir. This is it, the point of least resistance.
Okay, Andy.
I'm ready.
We'll all go back to the cyclotram.
Fuses 1 and 2 set. I wonder what we'll be running into.
There's only one way to find out.
Broken through. Looks like a tunnel. So far, so good. Put on your gas mask just in case. Coleman, we'll set the pace. You follow along with the cyclotram. The air is fresh and clear. You can take your masks off.
Pressure seems normal.
I wonder where it leads.
That's exactly what we're going to find out. Lead the way, Andy.
How did it all happen?
Long time ago, the earth above was covered with water.
And when the sea vanished, it left great limestone deposits behind.
Was all this limestone?
Yes. And then the water gathered in underground streams and carved out the soft limestone. Drop by drop, year by year, the water dissolved the stone.
Each drop carried a tiny particle of sediment. That's what formed these columns. About an inch every 1,000 years.
Well, how long did this whole process take?
About 200 million years. Hello, Coleman. Coleman, bring up the tram. We'll proceed from here. We're down 100 miles. You better pull up. Cut the switches.
It's funny. When we first got here, I felt a sort of exaltation. Now I feel depressed. I don't know why.
The oxygen content is adequate.
I know. But I too feel suffocated. Maybe it's the unreality of this place.
You know, once when I was working in the Holland Tunnel, I got cut off from my crew for 10 hours. I felt this way then.
I think I know what it is. It's loneliness. It's a feeling of a person away from people. I felt it on the top of a mountain in Tibet, in the jungles, and on the Arabian desert. It's like the last cord tying you with humanity has been cut.
It's more than that. People have dignity only in relation to many other people. Alone, a man is as useless as any rock out there.
No, you're both talking nonsense. Nature doesn't influence man. Man influences nature. One man, one strong man, can change nature.
Oh, you're